Hey, this year, the Lady Greenwood Gators volleyball team had a sensational season and accomplished something that no other public school had ever done before.
That's right, Doug. They made it to the state Final Four. Not only that, they advanced to the state championship game. And joining us now on the Sports Connection is the head coach of the Lady Gators, Holly Whittinghill. Coach, thank you for joining us.
Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
What can you say? Talk about the season. I know it's been over for a couple of weeks now, and I guess you probably had a chance to reflect. Talk about that amazing Final Four and a state championship game.
Yeah, it's something every coach really strives for their team, and to take this team this year to the state final, it was really an unbelievable experience. So really grateful to have all the girls in the program that were in there this year, and they worked hard, and they deserved that opportunity, and I'm happy for our program and happy for Greenwood and happy for public schools that a public school finally made it there. So.
Now, I'm going to say something, and Andrew has totally nothing to do with this, but you need to be in the Hall of Fame, and I'm telling you why. 156 and 8. 156 and 8. Remember those numbers. That is Coach's record in region since 2002. That is incredible. There's no other coach that has 8 losses in 10 years. I got to ask you, how does that happen when student-athletes cycle? I mean, we see it in all the different sports. You get maybe a really good class in, and then maybe there's a rebuilding period. There's this and that. It's not so in Greenwood Volleyball. I mean, 156 and 8, that is incredible.
Wow, I didn't realize that. Well, I don't know. We've had great leadership over the years, and although there's always a strong group that graduates, there's always somebody behind them that picks that up and takes that leadership over, and we've never totally drained our starting lineup every year. There's always somebody young in there that can add to the experience they had the previous year, and we have a rich tradition at Greenwood, and we expect a lot from our girls, and they give us that. So.
Well, and again, that 156 and 8 was just your region record. That doesn't include the regular season, which I noticed kind of going back and researching a little bit over the past 5 years or so, is that you've really expanded out from the region a little bit, and you're playing more teams, and I think this year you had 17 losses on your record, but so what? The end game was you ended up in the state championship.
Right. This was actually our worst season as far as the record went. So that tells you how much the record matters. Because we just went, went to Lexington, went to Louisville, played in Assumption's Invitational, which, you see some of the best teams in the country there. We went to Huntsville and played a couple state previous champions there. And so that's what the girls need to see. That's what they need to be in those games to see the different speed of the game, because the speed is a different animal when you play with those better teams, and to be able to keep up with that speed, and that helped us in postseason. So.
Now, you started this program back in 2000. I mean, from the ground up, this has really been all of you. So what did this year mean to you to see where you started back in 2000 to where you are today? I'm sure this was a goal of yours. I'm sure the ultimate goal was to win a state championship one year. Yeah. But to make it this year, from starting the program, what did that mean to you?
Well, I had told my husband, who also coaches with me, I told him if we happened to make it to the state finals that I was definitely going to cry. He was like, "Oh, no, you'll be fine." So I made it into the locker room before I broke down. But, yeah, it was an emotional trip that weekend because, we had great wins that weekend. And, this was a special team this year. We had a lot of bumps throughout the year, as you can see with our 17 losses. We battled injuries. We battled some players, not wanting to be in our program anymore. And the girls, they were tough. They hung through that, and it meant a lot that we could push through that and actually make it to that championship game. So,
you mentioned your husband as the assistant coach, and a lot of husband and wives work together in the same businesses, and and so forth. But you two really seem to have a great chemistry, and I know when you were pregnant with your children, your husband took over, and you just seemed, if you didn't tell us you were married, and of course we know now because we've been around you for so long, but the relationship and just the way you go about coaching seems to be flawless. Is that Good
Thank
assumption?
you.
Or maybe it's different on the way home, you know.
Well, no, I mean, we do complement each other pretty well. You know, he's done a great job, and we, you know, he designs the practices and runs a lot of practices, especially since we have two little ones now running around, and they were, you know, in the gym pretty much every day till 5:30 or 6 o'clock this year. So the girls get to know them really well, but you know, I don't know, it's just grown on us too. At the beginning, it was a different ball game, us coaching, because you get girls in your program that have never even seen a volleyball, let alone know what it means to hit one or set one up. They just think you're supposed to pass it over every time. Yeah. So, and now we're running offense and trying to have a lot more strategy involved. So yeah, I don't know. We've just grown with it and try to go to camps and clinics and learn more each time, and that's what we do.
It seems like volleyball, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like volleyball the last 5-6 years has really exploded as a fan sport. You see a lot more people at the games, and it just seems to have gone to another level. Is that an accurate?
Yeah, I think so. We have a good support at Greenwood anyway. Yeah. Our parents are great in our program, and they always have been. You know, we go to a lot of tournaments and stuff, and our parents are the biggest ones in the crowd because they just follow us everywhere. It's a growing sport. I think it's growing because it has a lot of action. You know, somebody's always scoring points. There's always some exciting play that's happening to score points. So it's a fan sport. So it's fun to cheer for.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you being on, and congratulations on a fantastic season.
Great job.
We're hoping next year we have you back here. Maybe we're talking about a state championship victory.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Well, time for a quick break. Stick around. You're watching Sports Connection on WBKO.